on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Help this team, get to the big dance. And that's win the Super Bowl. That's taking my game to the next level. Being available for my team each week. Ain't no just playing 14 games. I got to play all 17. Mm-hmm. And that's going to help us, reach that big goal, get in the playoffs and then do what we do.
Dalvin Cook talking about playing 17 games of American professional football this year. Bold take.
We'll have to see.
Maybe somebody can fire up a Dalvin Cook prediction and write that down, which is the most transparent and accountable segment in all of sports talk. It's Mackie, it's Judd, it's our executive producer Declan, and Purple Daily Vikings entertainment in podcast form on our YouTube channel, on Score North Radio in the Twin Cities. All of it presented by TCL. Enjoy more of what you love with TCL. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready for? We've got mini camp on the horizon. We've got training camp in like a month and a half. You can actually smell the football season on the horizon here, boys.
Does it smell like pigskin? It smells like pigskin to me and sweaty helmets.
It smells like sweaty helmets. Yeah, I think it smells.
That inside of the helmet that gets all sweaty. Yeah, I can smell that.
It's a masochistic feeling here if you are a Vikings fan, and whether you discovered us last week or whether you've been listening to Mackie and Judd for 7 years, we are your therapists because most of these seasons, all of these seasons, end in some sort of tragic storytelling way. So here's what we do on Wednesdays. We make predictions and hold each other accountable. We bring in guest listener predictors as well. We have a bonus episode, speaking of guest listeners, Realistic Randy, who has his own YouTube channel. He's an OG Vikings vent line caller going back to like 2013. Realistic Randy really cut his teeth just ranting at you and I after Vikings games on 1500 ESPN back in the day. Now he's got this YouTube channel. And so Randy jumped on Purple Daily for a bonus episode. You can find that in our feeds. But boys, let's get right into it here. Let's get to our football-related predictions, 3 of them each week from everybody. That's how it works. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And if you guys want to be part of the show, if you want to participate and write that down or on Declan's Sunday Vent Lines, you can now send us a message through the Score North app. It's free to download. There's a feedback tab right on the homepage. You can send us a message, and we will get you scheduled for write that down. Are you boys ready for a little accountability? Some things came off the board this week.
Really?
Yeah, right?
I was going to say. I'm surprised by that.
They did.
Okay,
Declan. Things came off the board. The accountability session presented by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. They've been helping business owners with risk management tools and peace of mind going back to the early 1900s. A lot of smart people, a lot of fellow Minnesota sports fans and masochists in that group. Just a lot of good people. So find out more information about the industries they protect and how they can protect your business and give you peace of mind at federatedinsurance.com. At Federated, it's our business to protect yours.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. We'll start with Judd. You said Julio Jones will be traded to the Patriots.
Yeah, the Titans swooped in, took him away from the Patriots, possibly San Fran. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
how much does this move elevate the Titans into a more relevant category for you?
It actually depends on what they do offensively now with this, because they've sort of been the Vikings AFC, right? Yeah. Like they've got a dominant running back. Tannehill's been really good, and they'll throw the football, but it's also like, Henry's going to get the touches. So this elevates it to me if the new OC, Eden Prairie native Todd Downing, is their new OC. Yeah. If they now morph the offense like they probably should, it could be a big change. It could be, and I don't know. So are we still waiting for the day that Tannehill sort of comes back to earth here, or is he just damn good?
I think he's just I don't think he's in the Aaron Rodgers category, but I think he's definitely in another category than he was with the Dolphins.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
He's been a top 10 guy. So
yeah. Helps to have. I think they've got such a great force in Derrick Henry, and much in the same way that Dalvin Cook and play action really elevate the best part of Kirk Cousins' game. I think Derrick Henry and the offensive line and everything they have schematically puts Ryan Tannehill just in the best spots for him. So that's my take on it. All right. I think we can probably take this one off the board now. I had a 4-quarterback parlay offseason situation that had Jimmy G going to the Patriots, Deshaun Watson to the Bears, Kirk to the Niners, and Teddy to the Vikings.
Yeah, that was going to fall apart with Teddy to the Vikings for sure.
Probably just going to take that.
And Deshaun's going to what? Stay put now, face the allegations, and not play for Houston? Well, like that's gotten pushed aside, right?
That whole thing is, so
like the whole thing's
is
weird.
He just not going to play?
But he's not at the camps. But I mean, it's being talked about, but it's not being. I think we have to find out where the accusations against him are going first, right?
Yeah.
Like, are there going to be more suits filed or what? So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, and also like,
it's a big talker.
Can he almost has to go back and play for Houston before he would get traded somewhere else, right? Like, is there any way that this thing would all just blow over?
That's what I'm wondering.
However, and then he would just get traded. Like, is it going to blow over by August? I don't know.
And right now, the Texans starting quarterback is Tyrod Taylor.
You know what? There are plenty of worse options than Tyrod Taylor. You can win a couple games here and there with Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, you just said it.
He's not Deshaun Watson, but he's better than some of the backups the Vikings have had
Bortles
over the years. Listeners had nothing come off the board, but I will put a featured prediction that's still on the board on here. Tony has said, at some point in the 2021 season, there will be a credible report that Kirk Cousins is leading the MVP race. I can still see this happening. He's got weapons. Offensive line should be better. Dalvin Cook is going to help him in the play action game, just like he did last year. So if they get off to a hot start and they're like 6-2 or something, and he's putting up big numbers, I could see this article coming up in like October. What about you guys?
Absolutely, yeah, but what you just said, Phil, is the absolute most important thing: is a hot start. Like the last 2 years, Kirk has struggled. And then the talk is he going to be booed at home? Could he possibly be benched? What's going to happen? And then Kirk, inevitably, being Kirk, rallies and comes back. We're all like, oh my God, look at what Kirk is doing now. So for this to come true, and it's imperative that this finally takes place, right? For this to come true, what you need is for Kirk to have a really good September.
Yeah, it's just been fleeting. The Septembers have not been good with Kirk and the Vikings.
You're being kind.
Declan, you had one thing come off the board. You said the Vikings will announce a free agent signing of a player with at least 3 years of NFL experience between now and next week's. Write that down, and you are correct. Bashad Breeland. There might have been a couple, actually.
Yeah,
Bashad
a solid completion of 10 to 15 yards. Nothing more, nothing less, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going 10.
I'm not saying it's a touchdown. I'm just saying
I'm going 10. I'm not giving you 15.
Right. Oh, I'm giving 10. Okay, that's fine. It's a little 10-yard, 3rd and 8. Yep.
It's fine. Yeah, you checked it down, and the guy got a couple extra yards.
I wouldn't have to check down, but yeah, no.
That's another Gophers first down.
I love you two. Check down Charlie is just quibbling over whether it's a 10.
I am.
Oh, yeah. You guys are both check down Charlies. Look at you.
I'm a check down Charlie.
Here's the stats on the season. Judd leading 38% no touchdowns. Declan 32% no touchdowns. Again, no touchdowns for either one of you guys.
Bring it on.
Listeners, 27% one touchdown.
Noodle arm. That's me.
And I've got 26% completions, but 5, count them, 5 touchdown passes on the season.
Joe Willie Namath. Congratulations, you also throwing 18 picks.
Yeah, good job, Jameis.
Jameis, listen, I'm all about eating those W's.
Oh God. Gross.
And throwing those touchdown passes.
God, never again.
Eating the W's might be one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
It is pretty good.
How do you do that?
Let's get John in here. John is our guest listener predictor on Write That Down this week. John, what's going on with you, man? Are you ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready, man. Been waiting.
All right, are we going to call you a check down Charlie, or are you going to drop back and take some risks? Like I'm the only one that apparently takes risks on this segment, so you going to join me?
I got one check down and maybe hopefully a touchdown at the end.
All right, let's do it.
Write that down.
We got John in here. John, how long have you been a Vikings fan?
Since I was born. I'll be 32 in October, so.
Oh, I'm
Wow,
sorry.
so the 98 season was one of your early memories, probably.
I
right?
cried.
Yeah,
I literally. I was so
Yeah.
mad I ripped off my jersey and I, said a couple things that I wasn't supposed to at a 9-year-old's age.
Nice. Nice. You worked in an
man.
F-bomb?
Yeah,
At 9?
couple of them.
Did mom get mad? Mom or dad
Yeah,
get mad about it?
grandpa got mad. My grandpa's one who introduced me to the Vikings, and it's been downhill since then.
It really has. But we keep coming back every
Yep.
season,
Right.
and in our case,
Every year.
every day here on Purple
Every
Daily.
year.
So,
Yep.
all right, let's start out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around the room 3 times. We'll start with John, over to Judd, Declan, and then back to me, Phil. They must be quantifiable, and they must have something to do with football, even if it's just sort of loosely. So, John, start us off.
All right, all my takes are Viking takes. So the first one, Danielle Hunter will get a new contract by week 1. He will start week 1 and will have at least 1 sack.
Ooh, little parlay. If that happens, it's a touchdown. I think
Yeah,
almost any
specific
3-item
parlay,
parlay
yeah. Agreed.
is
All
going to be a
right.
touchdown here. So there it is. All right. Write that down. John's first prediction. Over to Judd.
I will give you a Packer write that down prediction. Jordan Love will finish among the top 5 in the NFL in interceptions thrown in 2021. Jordan Love
Dude.
will be top 5 in picks this coming season.
Did you guys see there was some reports coming
yeah.
out of Packers minicamp yesterday, and so Jordan Love was running a 2-minute drill at one point, and I think he ran a couple different 2-minute drills, barely made it past the 50-yard line, and at one point sailed a pass over a wide open receiver's head. I mean, and then Devontae Adams is literally just crying out. Devontae Adams is dropping F-bombs on Zoom calls saying, "I will die on a hill for Aaron Rodgers. I've got his back all the way." Bakhtiari, the other, there's a couple key veterans, and all the reporters are like, "What do you guys think of Rodgers?" And Devontae Adams is like, "Ride or die all the way. I got his back." And Bakhtiari was like, "I don't want to jump into this. I'm going to stay out of this." So
He won't
Typical
be back.
left tackle, yeah.
that's hilarious.
Come on, say what you think.
It's too bad. They are about to enter quarterback purgatory for 10 years. They're going to experience what the Vikings have experienced for a long time.
They deserve
He didn't
it.
come back.
They do.
Nobody
forget-
gets what
Yes,
they've
sir.
gotten since 1992.
I believe it was Peter Schrags who was on Good Morning Football this morning. He says, "I feel for Packer fans. They went through this with Favre 15 years ago. To go
love
through
Peter Schrager,
another
but come on.
offseason of whether he will be here or not with their star quarterback is
God.
simply unconceivable." Oh my god.
It's like going to a steakhouse and being like, "Oh, they might be out of filet mignon. Oh my God,
I'll have to
what
get a
are we
strip
going to
steak.
do?
God.
Oh, I have to eat that calamari now."
But they brought this one on themselves. This is self-induced. You drafted a quarterback in the first round who you might now not like that much without telling the incumbent. I mean, the Vikings drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round and told Kirk Cousins. Think about that for a second.
It's not that hard. Not that hard to communicate.
Yeah,
Not
pick
that
up the
hard.
phone and
like
say,
writing
we're
things down.
considering doing this.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Back to Declan here. Your first prediction.
All right, my first prediction, Judd wrote this yesterday at scorenorth.com. Right now, the Vikings have 11 cornerbacks, right, Judd? 11 cornerbacks
With the guy
on
they
their
signed.
roster.
Yes.
So I'm going to say the Vikings will have 7 cornerbacks. I'm going to be specific. 7 cornerbacks on the 53-player active roster in week 1.
Okay. Wow.
So
We're gonna
7
have
exactly.
7,
Okay.
exactly 7.
All right.
I'm being specific.
Okay. That's a home.
7
I think
corner.
that's a touchdown if it happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're
7,
going to
right?
pinpoint 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be around 6, 7, or 8, but if you're
Yep.
pinpointing 7, we'll give you that.
But he's not saying 6 or more, which would, to me, not
Correct.
be a touchdown.
What if
Correct,
it's
I'm saying
11 and he just doesn't have any special team? Like, he doesn't have a punter
Well,
or a
special
kicker
teams
or a
guy.
holder.
The way he wants it.
You think
You
he
guys
wouldn't be happy about that? Zim would love that.
Yeah, we're not going to kick at all this season,
Write
guys.
it down. You like writing things down.
All right, write this down. Danielle Hunter will not participate in day 1 of mandatory minicamp, and it will not be injury related. Because I think one thing we don't know, there's still a chance that he could just be like in the latter stages of rehabbing from the neck surgery. We don't know, right? There's been barely a whisper about
I think that
any
would have
update.
leaked out, though. If it was
Maybe.
injury related, I think that they would get that out there.
So in theory, though, Phil could lose this point if on day 1 of minicamp they put the absences, or if he's on the injury report, then that means this prediction
But
would
there
not
won't
come
be.
true.
Correct.
Right, but
Got
they would have to say it because they're not required to report that stuff.
Oh, okay. Got
Phil's almost certainly going to get this
Yeah.
check down Charlie point.
Well, listen, you can still score touchdowns on screen passes sometimes. So
Yes,
Danielle
you
Hunter
can.
will not
Yeah, I know,
participate.
but you've been casting a lot of stones at the Dex and Judd house.
Yeah,
okay?
I've got 5 touchdowns. Until you guys get one, you can't throw any stones
Hey,
against
let-
the
right.
last.
26%.
Chad Pennington had a great career with the Jets and Dolphins.
Yeah,
Throw some
come on.
respect.
Everybody said, "Oh, Peyton Manning as a Bronco was great. He won a Super Bowl." I'm the one that told him to retire because it was a joke.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's last year, like physically could not throw a ball in the
I'm
air
Peyton
beyond
Manning.
4 yards.
Brock Osweiler replaced him.
That's bad.
All right, we're back to John. Your second prediction, sir.
Write this
All
down.
right. My second prediction, I'm going with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson will have a combined at least 2,000 yards by the end of the 2021 season and at least 16 touchdowns.
Ooh.
That's cool.
I like it. Yeah, I think
That should be accurate, by the way.
Yeah, if they stay healthy,
Yep.
and especially with the extra game, if they stay healthy, I would expect those things to come true. I think the yardage is going to be the easier bar there. I mean, Thielen had like
Yeah.
14 touchdowns last year, just sniping those red zone touchdowns. All right, Judd, your second prediction.
Okay, my second prediction. Everson Griffin will weigh in on Twitter about Danielle Hunter's situation before the season starts. So we're going to get a tweet from Ev weighing in. So I'm not predicting what it's going to say, but it will involve Danielle Hunter's contractual situation, since we're almost certain that Ev is among the former teammates alluded to who have been in Danielle's ear about his contract.
Yeah. And by the way, we're speculating on the Everson Griffin thing, right? That he's been in Hunter's ear.
Yeah.
Has anyone actually named him, or we're just
No.
it's our speculation?
No, but I mean, it's such solid speculation that I think it's safe to go with it.
Yeah, it's educated speculation.
Write it down. You like writing
Turning
things
fiction
down.
into truth, Mackie and Judd.
Yep. All right, Declan, your second prediction, sir.
All right, second prediction here. This came from Pro Football Focus. They've been doing position rankings throughout the last week or so, and they had the Vikings offensive line 26th heading in to the 2021 season. Well, screw that. I'm going to say the Vikings offensive line will rank in the top 15 by Pro
Oh, wow,
Football
dude.
Focus by the end of the season.
Let's go.
Wow. Oh my God.
Did you say top 15?
Top 15.
Holy
I mean, that would be a
cow.
miracle. If that happens, the only question is, what is the parade route in mid-February?
That's right.
What is the parade route? Not asking for the number one offensive line here, folks. Just a top half of the league unit that doesn't get the quarterback trucked every other play. Okay.
Right down Washington Avenue in Minneapolis. I can see it now.
Write that down.
Nah,
I like it.
Are you kidding, dude? 94 would be shut down.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're not going. I mean, well, they'll
downtown,
use Washington, but
94.
yeah.
We're going to the Capitol. We're going to Duluth.
Oh, my God.
Duluth seems a little aggressive.
Oh, that's
but,
a little aggressive.
But yeah,
Bring it up north.
definitely.
Bring it up north.
Exactly. We're bringing it up north,
Yeah,
baby.
where are you up north right now, John?
I'm from Monoman, and it's like 35 miles north of Detroit Lakes, where Adam Thielen grew up. So
There you
Okay.
go. Yeah,
Cool,
way
man.
up there, man.
yeah,
My second prediction here is a Packers prediction.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
After seeing some of these Jordan Love practice reports, after just hearing from Devontae Adams clearly being upset in the same vein as Aaron Rodgers, it really feels like the wheels are coming off the cart here for Green Bay. And if anyone thinks that Aaron Rodgers is going to go back and just put his tail between his legs, this man cut his family off at the knees a decade ago. He does not speak to his mom, dad, or siblings. He is that callous and cold. He is a sociopath who's here to throw touchdown passes, but not for you, Green Bay. The Packers will finish, write this down, with 7 wins or fewer this upcoming season. 7 wins or fewer.
They're going to go lower.
Well, listen. 7 and
Good for
10
us.
is a bad
7
record.
and 10. Don't forget, Declan.
I mean, yeah.
It's 7 and 10.
7 and 10. I thought you were going to be a little more outlet. They're going to go.
Well, I
maybe
mean, they
4
still have a
wins.
decent roster. They're not just. They're not going to be the.
The Packers will have minus 5 wins this year.
That's what Dex wants.
Write that down.
All right, John, your third and final prediction.
all right. So this is hopefully end of the year touchdown. So by the end of the 2021-2022 season, Danielle Hunter will have at least 10 sacks. Harry the Hitman will have at least 4 interceptions. And the Minnesota Vikings will make it to the NFC Championship.
Wow.
Touchdown
Well,
throws.
that's a 99-yard
Let's
Gus
go,
Rod to
baby.
bury
Let's
It is.
go.
And what I like about this prediction is he didn't specify a team for Danielle Hunter. So
Oh,
if
no.
Hunter gets traded to the Raiders and the Vikings still do all these things, he still gets credit for this prediction.
Let's go.
Uh,
I've been
awesome
listening.
work.
I've been listening.
Yeah, that's good.
John, great job on your predictions here. Since you have this life-changing platform here, this pinnacle moment of your life, is there anyone you'd like to thank that brought you to Purple Daily today?
Just you guys, my old lady, she thought it was kind of funny that I've been waiting for this for like the last month since Dex sent me the email. So just you guys and Skull Vikes, I guess.
Right on, man.
Thanks,
John,
man.
great work up north. We'll talk to you. We'll get
Yep.
you on again sometime, all right?
Thank
Thanks,
you.
John.
Good
All
stuff.
right, there he is.
Write that down.
Good stuff there.
Man,
All right.
touchdown throws there.
Love it. All right, Judd, your third prediction.
Speaking of potential touchdowns, I've looked into my Crystal Vikings ball. It's very purple, and it's got a lot of thoughts. And I saw this one.
There's medication for that.
Yeah, there is.
No, I said it's purple balls. I didn't say something else. And I saw this. Clint Kubiak will not be the Vikings offensive coordinator after the 2021 season.
Okay.
So this will be Clint Kubiak's one season as the OC.
And off the record, do you think that's because he'll do such an amazing job?
I don't know.
Or-
I don't know. See, the purple ball didn't tell me that, but I mean, it could be that he does a great job and gets a head coaching job like Stefanski did. It could be that Zim gets blown out and Clint goes with him, because I'm pretty sure their next coach is going to be an offensive minded guy who's probably going to want to call plays himself and bring his own people in.
Yeah.
I didn't see the purple ball didn't tell me that. I just had the premonition that's going to be a one and done type of deal.
Okay.
Good.
All right, so
Write that down.
football. I thought you were going to be a little football whisperer there, but it sounds like you're not quite seeing it as clearly. That's okay.
No, not yet. If it crystallizes, I'll tell you and write that down
Okay.
at some point.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Declan, your third and final prediction.
All right, after Mackey's 7 wins or less fewer prediction on the Packers, and since I was doubted a Packers fan last year, and I'll be honest, I was rooting for Aaron Rodgers up until the buffoonery that happened where you kicked a field goal down one possession, but I don't want to keep rehashing that point. Yeah. I'll say, though, the Packers will win 3 games or less in 2021.
Oh my God,
Dude, I mean, they still have a
what are you
roster.
doing?
They're
What's
not-
going
No,
on?
that's okay.
With 3-14?
Yeah, they're gonna be bad. I'm just gonna go three.
Well, yeah, they might be bad, but that would be.
I mean, worst case, this just comes off my check down, Charlie. Best case scenario, I get a touchdown out of it. So I'm
I
cool
feel
with
like
this.
you've
I'm cool with this
overcorrected,
prediction.
Dex. I feel
No, I
like
did
you
not overcorrect.
overcorrected there.
No,
I feel like you
no,
went
no.
like you just went off the cliff. I'll show you. I'll gun this car right off the
All right.
cliff.
This is
All right.
4th and 26. Okay.
You know
comes
what?
Mackey.
I'm
Here
gonna.
he comes.
All right, here we go. All right. Since we're doing this Packers thing, all right, we're all kind of feeling the same vibe here. I'm gonna give you what I think is a long touchdown pass because it's kind of a parlay.
Okay.
Write this down. In Week 1 at New Orleans, Blake Bortles will throw at least 3 interceptions for the Green Bay Packers. Blake Bortles specifically. So I'm telling you.
So you're going.
I'm
He's
telling
the starter.
The parlay, if you break it down, is Aaron Rodgers will not be playing. Jordan Love will not win the starting job. Blake Bortles, by default, will be the starting quarterback, and he will be awful in Week 1.
Oh my God.
Actually, can I tweak this and say Blake Bortles will be responsible for at least 3 turnovers in Week 1?
That's your prediction, yeah.
Okay. Will be responsible for at least 3 turnovers in Week 1 against New Orleans. Write it down for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's your
They are about to feel what it's like for the
Whatever.
first time in 30 years to have a huge shoulder shrug at quarterback, and it's going to be delightful.
And nobody should have any sympathy for them whatsoever.
No,
I do not.
The
I do
fact
not.
that they transitioned from Favre to, Aaron is ridiculous. Like you should
Write this down.
and plus the guy dropped to him at 24. Is that right?
No.
Aaron Rodgers dropped to him at 24.
something like that. Yep.
Oh Lord.
So those are your write that down predictions here. We do this on Purple Daily and on Mackie and Judd every single Wednesday. And again, if you want to be part of the action as a guest listener predictor, go grab that Score North app. It's free to download, and you can send us a message through the feedback tab on the Score North app. And I think we just launched this last week, and so we might still be working on a couple things with that feedback tab, but send us a note. We'd like to test it out too. and just include some contact information in there so we can get back at you as well. So, hey, boys, Declan brought up that Pro Football Focus ranking of offensive lines. So they've been ranking all the different positional units. And the offensive line, okay, I think we've all been sitting here saying you got to do something this offseason. Well, they spent a first-round pick, and then they got Wyatt Davis, who was graded a lot of the consensus big boards had him, late first, second, sort of early second, and the Vikings get him in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian O'Neill has emerged into a really good right tackle. So, we look at the offensive line and say, on paper, boy, this thing could be formidable. Maybe not the best in the NFL, but formidable. And PFF still has them 26th out of 32 teams going into the year. I just want to read a couple snippets from this and get your guys' thoughts. Have we overrated or over projected the improvements that they've made through the draft here? And PFF says there are some big changes this offseason, starting with Christian Darrisaw. Brings great power to the run game, moves well enough to succeed in Minnesota's zone-heavy attack. They talk about Brian O'Neill. Garrett Bradbury is a prime example of interior offensive line issues for the Vikings. They've been far better in the run game, but ranked second to last in pass blocking grade, Bradbury, among centers in his 2 NFL seasons. And the line at the end here is the Vikings offensive line has a new look, and the unit's ability to move up the rankings may be dependent on 2 rookies and 1 second-year player in Ezra Cleveland. So they're saying, all right, you got some new young blood here, but you're still 26th out of 32nd. Is that a fair assessment?
I think it's completely fair because all that we've said is we're glad that they addressed the positions that they needed to address, and hope to God Dakota Dozier does not have to start for your team in 2021, right?
Yeah,
That's our point. But from a national perspective and trying to rank the lines, I wouldn't shoot the Vikings up high until we begin to, as they point out, see what they've done. And can Darrisaw, because that's still a big job. Can he step in day one and become a successful left tackle immediately? Mm-hmm. Don't know. It's still a good move. It's still a good pick. But I think the assessment right now is completely fair. Now, let me say this. I also think that for this team to have the success that it probably needs to have this coming season, that ranking needs to end up probably in the top 15 or so, around 15, which would be a dramatic improvement and which would be huge. But I think it's fair right now from a national perspective to give the Vikings the offensive line ranking that they did. And for us also to say, as people who have suffered through watching this line pass protect it, which it's been brutal, it looks like they've at least taken steps to do the right things.
Yeah, it's actually Realistic Randy and I were talking about this on the episode that dropped this morning, that they've done a better job of devoting, whether it's free agent resources or just draft capital that's higher up on offensive linemen. You and I did a research thing sometime 3 or 4 years ago, before the Bradbury pick. It might have been after the Khalil pick or somewhere in there, where they went a 10-year stretch between the mid 2000s and all the way through the Khalil pick, where they only used, I want to say, 3 first, second, or third round picks on offensive linemen.
Yes.
And it was Matt Khalil, Ryan Cook, that center from New Mexico,
which was a Childress pick.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then who was the right tackle in 08 or 09? Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson.
Okay.
Was a second round pick.
Yeah, that was the Troy Williamson draft, I think.
Okay, maybe it's 05.
Yeah.
But they just weren't drafting linemen in the first, and then they wondered, well, but they also had McKinney, and they signed Steve Hutchinson, and they had John Sullivan panned out, so they had some guys.
Yes.
And lately, they've been spending capital. Brian O'Neill was a second-round pick. Ezra Cleveland was a second-round pick. Garrett Bradbury, first-round pick. Darrisaw, first-round pick. And so you would think by putting – now, you're not going to hit on all of them, but you would think that you're going to hit on some of these guys and have a nice nucleus. Ideally, Garrett Bradbury gets better now, and Ezra Cleveland is solidified, and Darrisaw. And now you've got a bunch of dudes in their mid-20s
Yep.
that are all going to need to get paid at some point. But if they can all grow together for the next 5 or 6 years, you might have some, dare I say, stability along the offensive line if some of these guys work out instead of revolving doors at the guard positions and the tackle positions.
And the guard positions are the ones that have driven me absolutely crazy, because the guard position has evolved and changed, and the interior rush the teams get now, your guards have to be good. Like, they can't be like, it's the equivalent in baseball bullpens, right? Like it used to be, failed starter. Oh, that's cool. We'll throw him in and he can get, face 4 or 5 guys and get outs. But man, that's great. And then it's like, oh no, we actually need guys who can throw hard, who are effective, who aren't failed at what they did previously. And so the thing that I never got about this though is for all of Childress's faults, one of the first moves that he's made, or that he made in 2006, and I've talked about this before, was they went out and signed Hutchinson to a 7-year, $49 million poison-pilled contract. And he was a left guard. And so it's like, yeah, it's a guard. Why are you doing that? And the reason is Steve immediately elevated everyone from Burke, McKinney, and I would have thought that Rick, who saw Steve play for how long, would have eventually said, you know what, that was a really good idea. Like that's where some of your capital has to go. Yeah. And instead they piecemealed it, and down to it is inexcusable that Dakota Dozier started an entire year for your team with what you are paying like a franchise quarterback. It is inexcusable. So at least I like the moves now, and I like the commitment to build a line, and I also like the fact that it sounds like Zim got involved in this as well, that we are now going to see an offensive line that, yes, can zone run block. It knows the zone system, but it's not a bunch of, hey, that guy's sort of small and he moves quick, right? Like, you're getting some bulk back, because to pass protect, you need bulk. So I do think that these guys are on the right path. Well, you do. You need some fat guys that can bleep and block. I hate this. Yeah, that guy can pull, and look at him get around the corner. It's like, yeah, but he just got football. He just got blasted by like a 3 technique into tomorrow.
I mean, it's the whole package of how he plays the game. Like, his hands are just hands. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Quick
1, 2.
We need Baldy. We need Baldy in here to be the Vikings offensive line coach.
We got to get Baldy on.
We do.
Yeah, got to get Baldy on.
Dex, you got some connections at NFL Network. Can we get Baldy on here just to talk about football?
And he can just talk.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
And we can grab sound bites.
Yes, I'm here for it.
And I'm serious about this.
All day.
I'm not joking.
Brian Baldinger doesn't just like football. He loves football.
Centers are a hell of a lot of fun. They know how to party. Like, this is a party. Taking a Pro Bowl nose tackle and drilling him into the ground so that he can taste the grass seed at Lambeau Field.
Football! Football, yeah! Football! Football! Get some!
Unreal.
Love me some Baldy, man. Love me some Baldy. All right, boys. That's a wrap on today's episode of Purple Daily. 1, 2. Quick jab. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. The Score North app and scorenorth.com are the 2 best hubs for everything we do at Score North. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to click the subscribe button and the bell notification button so we can hand deliver you on a football platter daily football content. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.